Oh, well done, guys. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in Australia. We're actually here right now at Sydney Olympic, guys. At Sydney Olympic, the game of the century. Of course, we're going back to the old days right now. And I tell you what, I got Roger Sleeman with me. Welcome, Roger. Well, for turning up today, mate. Fantastic to have you on board. Of course, we've got this massive game. We're talking about 47 years in the making. Is that right? Can you tell me about that game? 47 years ago, I'm wearing the same shirt, guys. The same shirt they wore those days. It's actually a replica. There you go. Go for it, Roger.
You did say, Harry, for me to come and have a word with you, didn't you?
Oh, now you're online too. You're online right now. That's fantastic. He's done it on purpose, I know that. I'll get you on very shortly. Well, Roger, it's fun and games today, as you can see. How do you feel about this game? 47 years ago, back in the making.
It's not quite 47 years because the actual date of the first NSL match, Sydney Sports Ground, was Sydney Olympic versus South Melbourne.
Yes.
On the 2nd of April 1977, so it's not quite 47 years.
Yes.
It's such a long time ago that I guess it's pretty acceptable that we can say it's 47 years. Remember the day well. At the sports ground, it was a beautiful autumn day.
Yes.
Would have been probably about 21, 22 degrees.
Yes, yes.
Unlike today.
Hang on, Roger, keep going, keep going. I've got this
Unlike today, which has got a bit of, weather's got a bit of punch in it today. Mate, can we do this, please? Yeah, can I keep talking?
Yes, hang on.
Keep the door shut.
Keep the door shut, guys. Well, we're interview right now with Roger, guys, and of course we're live online at Facebook. But you said that's sort of like nearly 47 years. Is that right?
47 years on April 2nd. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So don't know really why they didn't try and match, in late March to the actual exact years, but be as it may, certainly a lot of memories have been brought back for me, and this morning just thinking about it. I just can't believe we're all still around now.
So you were at the first game?
First game.
The first game of the Phillips League,
Yep.
Sydney Sports Ground, you're telling me. Yep. And what was the atmosphere like? Whether it was a packed crowd? It must have been packed.
There were 10,250 people there on the day.
Yes.
Which was about 1/3 the capacity of the Sydney Sports Ground. It was a good atmosphere. In those days, actually, it was a good crowd because a lot of the Greek business people would work all Saturday, so they obviously didn't come to the game. But it was a 3 o'clock kickoff, so I guess as many came as could. Just a great atmosphere. We were the first, our co was the first co to go national. Despite all the claims of rugby league and Australian rules and cricket, as with the Sheffield Shield, this is really the first national competition.
And of course, the many stars that day. There would have been a few Socceroos that day that you would have known as well.
The Socceroos, the star Socceroos were with South Melbourne.
Yes.
And as I mentioned in an interview this week with Laurie McKenna, you had Peter Alton. He scored the 2 goals. Peter scored the 2 goals to give South Melbourne a 2-0 win. There was Duncan Cummings, great striker, great young striker. Billy Rogers, the great Jim Mackay, who was who scored the greatest goal in the history of Australian football to qualify us for the '74 World Cup.
Yes.
And the other one was Jack Riley, my dear friend Jack Riley, who was the goalkeeper for South Melbourne. So they were the 5 Socceroos. In Sydney Olympic, right, the 2 main players, in my opinion, were Gary Meyer, he was a Socceroo goalkeeper. Yes. And Joe Sankowski, one of the best talents ever to come out of Newcastle. I think Joe played for the Socceroo B team. He didn't play full international. But a lot of other good players in both teams. I just really feel so nostalgic. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal, but I reckon I might be the only person here today who's a spectator who's actually here today commemorating the...
So we're talking back to the future again. They're saying to me at Olympic today, guys, it's back to the future. Back to the B League. Well, I'm not going to call it the B League, guys. I'm going to call it the NSL2, 2nd Division. People are swearing at me. They can swear as much as they like. Whatever they want to say, they can say, guys. But it's the NSL reborn again. And I hear that they're talking about the A-League's got a few problems that could happen. Something could happen very special. I think somebody could be talking to me very special about this. We'd like to bring on Mr. Kenny Wilson right now, guys. Where's Kenny? Can you get through here, Kenny? We've been sort of like... right here where Roger is. If we can move you, Roger.
I'll move.
No way. So we can get Kenny on right now, guys. As we're doing right now, he's getting Kenny on right now, and we've got a couple of guys talking about the second division. Of course, Kenny, you know it's deja vu for you. You played in that. You were in that team. You were in that team, but you didn't play that day.
No, I never arrived till July 77, so I missed the start of the NSL. But
Yes.
we will be getting joined by Mickey Cross, who did play in that game. He'll be coming pretty soon. He's in transit, so he can tell you about the actual day itself and what he thought about the game. But they were the hassling days of the start of the PSL, Phillips Soccer.
And that's what people don't understand. There was a league before the NSL, guys. It was the first national competition, Kenny, and you coming all the way from Scotland. What were you thinking that day when you turned up the first training session? What was it like?
Mate, well, when me and Alec Jameson arrived, we were absolutely flabbergasted because we were expecting, a backyard league, low standard that we thought we'd be hosting. And when we arrived, it was like coming to Real Madrid with the setup. Well, at least the facilities, showground training, football stadium, the old football stadiums where we played our matches, and we had Wentworth Park for the juniors. So it was pretty impressive, and we got billeted in the Jubilee hotel for 9 months. So it was pretty special.
Absolutely amazing that you actually turned up, and you've actually got the same shirt somewhere at home floating around, which I'm wearing right now. And you got the copy now, eh?
Give me the copy, which thank you very much for that.
Fantastic, it's beautiful.
And I've got my son sitting over there, which
beautiful.
He's got one too, so he'll be proudly wearing that one.
Now, let me just say before I bring Carlos on for a sec, is that are we talking about an Olympic win today, or are we talking South Melbourne? What's the score? What's your prediction of the score?
Look, for me, to be honest, Olympics unknown because they made 2 or 3 signings.
Yes.
Now, whether they play today, I don't know. But and South Melbourne went reasonably okay last year, but never won the NPL.
That's right.
So you got to expect that they'll be a fair side. The interesting thing is they've got another tournament starts tomorrow. Now, whether they brought their full squad here today, or they've left half at home, brought half here, who knows? So I don't know what I expected, but other than it'll be a good game.
Well, I know this morning that the South Melbourne boys got on the plane this morning, and they came in very early in the morning, and they're going to be a little bit jet lagged, and the heat will affect them. And although it was very hot in Melbourne yesterday, so today in Sydney, guys, it's going to be an amazing game. I hope somebody's actually streaming it so people can see. I'm sure somebody's streaming. Kenny, thank you very much for coming on. We're going to bring Mr. Carlos Bielli, guys, from Planet Football. Planet Football, that's right, guys. And you just came from there, is that right, Carlos? I bet you.
Oh yeah, one show follows the other, Harry.
Exactly. And how do you see today? This is really, to me, it is the beginning of NSL 2, second division. We still don't know the name, but we're going to stick to NSL 2, and that's what it feels like today. Back to the old days, Carlos. You must remember those days.
Well, I do remember watching games with 10, 15,000 people who were very passionate, and you never forget the man who had a part-time occupation selling peanuts.
Oh yes.
And Soccer World.
Yes.
He'd walk around the field.
Peanuts.
Peanuts just came through there, guys.
10, 15 times around the field. The other memory I have of the old NSL is with young ladies will walk around the perimeter of the ground eyeballing the guys.
Aha, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there was quite in all the games you have all these groups of young ladies, 13, 16, obviously the mums and dad will keep an eye on it, but they'll be walking around the ground and, socialising with the other youngsters.
So we're talking about there could have been a few marriages in those days happening as well.
I would say so, but look,
that's the thing, guys.
It was a different era because if you didn't go to the game,
yes,
you missed the game altogether. There was no replay, there was no highlights. So now we're spoiled for choice because we subscribe to a streaming service, we watch a mini match, full match, or a 6-minute highlight, so we're spoiled for choice. So
exactly.
In the 70s, it was another era altogether when football came together, and you had to be there. If you didn't come, you missed out.
That's right. And I flew in this morning, and this morning I was supposed to get on the plane at to be here much earlier. I had to rush this today, guys, to make this happen today. So I'm hoping everything is working well. It was a rush job.
It is working. You are the master.
Well, we'll see what happens. Well, Mr. Fix It,
troubleshooter,
Mr. Fix It, Mr. Gadget Man. You mean, oh boy. I mean, I brought whatever I could bring to make this work, Carlos, today. And I tell you what, it's an amazing day. Your prediction today. What do you think of the score?
Look, I think whichever team adapts better to the heat and will win. But obviously, South Melbourne probably be a bit weary from early starts.
Yes.
And the heat, but I think it'd be a great game of football and a great advertisement for football.
Well, it is a great advertisement for next year's second division, of course, NSL2. And what I'm going to say is, they've been training. They're not playing the mud today. They actually want bragging rights to next year, which means they're playing for the Greek Herald Cup, which means this is not your normal game today, a friendly. This is basically bragging rights for next season, which means when they come together next season to play for this, whoever's won, it's going to be massive bragging rights again next year to see if they can win it, whether it's Olympic or South Melbourne. But today, I'm wearing the Olympic shirt, Carlos.
I see
that is an absolute beauty. Yeah. I think that's the original shirt, guys. I said before. This is the copy that they wore. The copy they wore many years ago in 1977, the first day, South Melbourne. We're going to deja vu. Hopefully, guys, you can enjoy the game somewhere, whether it's being streamed today, and I'm hoping to bring someone back very shortly. So, thanks, Carlos.
Thank you, Harry.
And we will talk very soon. Back soon.
Okay, thank you.
Once again, we're online, guys, but you won't see me, but you're going to see these two legends, Mickey Cross and Gary Meyer. The tallest goalkeeper in the NSL, was that right? The tallest goalkeeper?
I'm the best. I was big as something.
I'm the best. I tell you what, guys, you were the legends in 1977. Of course, you were the first game,
At the
as you can see what I'm wearing right now, you recognise this?
that was a trick.
Have you still got it?
No.
You're going to have to buy one today, no, mate, Jake. But I tell you what, you guys were the pioneers of the first PSL. Phillips League Soccer. Correct. Phillips Top Soccer at night time. You're watching the replays and yourself. We were watching the replays as kids, as I was a kid watching the replay. Mate, how do you feel today? They're celebrating this sort of day. Let's be a little bit louder there.
Fantastic, because like you say, it was the first game televised.
Yes.
We got beat 2-0, which was a fair result on the day.
Yes.
But after that, we went back home and we watched the replay at Coogee Legions Club.
Beautiful.
And it was great to see the first televised PSL game on TV. Fantastic. It was great.
Hey Gary, what do you remember of that day? Tell me.
That day, scared spitless.
What?
I was only 16.
Mate, you. Well, I tell you what, I've seen that football card of you.
Yeah.
You're 16 and you were a young kid playing the game.
I was, yes.
What was it like, 16-year-old turning up there, these Socceroos on the other team there, the Socceroos playing there against you? How did you feel?
Well, it didn't worry me because I didn't know what Socceroos were then.
Oh, fantastic. Beautiful. Fantastic.
But it was a fantastic honour and something that started a very long career for me.
And how far do we go back? Oh, sorry, I've lost one. But the thing is, going back, is it 47 odd years, somewhere there. Roger spoke about that before. And the B League coming back, we're going back around the big circle again,
That's
boys.
right,
We're going back in a big circle. And how does that feel that you're going to see Sydney Olympic back in a national competition again next year? Gary first.
It's where they should be.
Exactly.
They've always had the best support. They've done a lot for the country. And the teams that they put out, no matter what the result, it's an interesting result.
Fantastic. and Mickey, how do you feel? Have you been kept up with the team now and then?
Sydney Olympic deserve to be in the top league. Supporter-wise, everything like that. They're a fantastic club, and they deserve to be in the top level.
And I do remember that day you had Sir Arthur George.
Sir Arthur George, yeah.
Sir Arthur George. What was it? And you guys he would have spoken to you that day and what's going on.
Sir Arthur George, I had an invitation to his last dinner.
Really?
Yes. And,
as chairman of football, Australian Soccer Federation.
Yeah. And my wife was pregnant at the time, and she was very heavily pregnant. She was nearly due, and I just couldn't go.
And of course, Gary, yourself being a 16-year-old, I've seen you in the footy cards. That day that photo would have been taken on that day, you had all that hair and everything.
Yeah, I know.
You know. But
Good
mate,
memory.
It is. Would you believe it's on? Once you put Gary Meyer in there, it comes up automatically on Google.
Yes, I know.
You've done that. People spoke to you about that many times.
People have asked me if I'd been involved in soccer, and I said, just go into Google, and they come back and go, oh! And I go, yeah, see?
Fantastic. The thing is trying to find those cards, and I'm sure you were in one.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got one next to my bed.
Oh my God, mate! This is. Have they offered you any? You know how much they're going for on eBay?
Yeah. But you got to realise when, like you say, Gary was 16.
Yep.
I was 20. Botham was 19. Paul Luckett was
That's right,
18. We was a very young side.
Yes,
It was a very young side coming into the National League, and we didn't know what we was facing. Then, like you say, Peter Ollerton, Socceroo, and they are very good side.
Fox, a couple of them.
Yeah, five Socceroo, yeah.
And the thing is about this is that the first national competition of its kind
Yeah.
through any football code, and we are still going through the A League, but the B League. Now, how do you if I give you a scenario here, should we call this NSL2 Second Division?
That's a very good question.
I think we should.
I would call
There you
it
go, there you
NSL2.
go. And anybody out there listening right now, stuff yes, it is NSL2. There you go. And yourself, what do you think?
I think it's a must because
must.
it keeps every team honest.
It relives
if you've
the
got-
old days too. And
If you've got
and
promotion and
everybody played.
relegation
Yes.
in any league,
Yes.
in any league, it keeps teams honest.
It
You
does.
know, instead of saying, "Oh, all right, we ran last, but we're there next year. We ran last, but we're there next year." Like the West Tigers in rugby league.
Exactly.
You know, you've got to have a promotion and relegation.
And so, what do you guys do in these? Are you coaching? You doing anything with through the game at all?
No, mate, I'm just retired up on the coast. No, Central Coast.
I was going to say the golf. And what about yourself?
Same as me, I'm just nearly retired. Not fully yet. I'm on annual leave, but I tried the coaching. There was a little bit too much politics for me.
Well, Australian soccer, you know what it's like, don't you?
There was a lot of
We
politics.
can't say soccer, I'll be in trouble. Well, our sponsor fines me. He fines me $5 every time I say soccer. He won't give me the money. Oh, God. Yeah, right, just got me on there right now, guys.
Yeah.
But you guys,
Thank you very
pioneers of
much.
the first game. Thank you very much,
Thank
Gary,
you.
and of course, Mickey. Thank you for coming today.
No.
A little bit of an interview.
Yeah, pleasure.
Hopefully, we'll see you at the game at next year's
Yes.
inaugural second
Yeah.
division and talk to you then too.
I was at the
Enjoy
game.
the game.
I was at the last game last season against Blacktown City, and it was a bit disappointing. They got done. You know, they won the grand final. They won the
Yes.
thing, but they got
Yes,
done. And
yes,
it was-
yes. Anyway, that's the way game goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the way it is.
That's football.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. I'd like
Thank
to
you.
call right now Kenny Wilson. Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
For Kenny Wilson here right now. We're going to sit down here. Guys, this is an amazing day for all these fantastic.
I'm the agent. Any fees company need for
You guys. Kenny, mate, sorry, Kenny. Now, Kenny, on that 13th of the 11th, 2023, you had something to do with that fantastic also that function there in Sydney, of course, and you were part of that, and you did some organising and some things as well. I interviewed you that day. What a day that was, wasn't it?
That was a fantastic day. I mean, I had a lot to do with it. I mean, but the guys obviously was, you know, Jack, Elise, Sam, his wife, Elia.
Yes.
You know, there was, you know, a lot of work by them, and of course Deborah Razzie.
Yes, yes.
So, kudos to them. It was great.
Anyway.
But yeah, it was a fantastic day. Fun was had by all. Very, quite emotional for a lot of people.
It was.
In actual fact, one of the guys who was in that sort of soccer recipient squad actually passed away 2 weeks ago. Just after. So yeah,
Yes.
so you know. It's never too early to do something. Yeah, you've got to keep in touch with your former players and
Exactly.
you know, seize the day.
Exactly. Now, what I want to present to you is the, of course, an award to you that you helped that day and everything. And of course, we don't give out certificates. We give out trophies on footballers. There you go, right now, guys. What an amazing footballers! Oh, what's happened here? Football. Footballers Appreciation Award to Kenny Wilson for his help organising the Pioneers of Football celebrations in Sydney. There you go, Kenny. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. So I don't really deserve it.
I know what's going.
But thank you, mate. That's very kind. Yeah, lovely.
No worries. Thank you, Kenny.
I'll just say that when Crossy was mentioning earlier on that his wife was heavily pregnant and he couldn't go to South after George's dinner. Just a quick one.
Yes.
My wife was pregnant with my first child.
Really?
And when we played Brisbane Lions, it was 1981, and Mickey's wife was with my wife.
Unbelievable.
So we go back a long way, me and Crossy.
Yeah, Kenny, we'll put that away for you now, so we get it wrapped up again the way it was. I came all the way from Melbourne in this morning, and
yeah, that's wonderful.
so there you go. I would rather not give, of course, on that day. I would or something. This is even a memento more than basically giving a certificate out. So there you go.
Very, very.
Thanks, guys. You back some more. Hopefully, one more time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, we are back again. Of course, today it's a hard day. As I said, I was delayed the best I can. And everything seems to be.
Heard you fly Jetstar?
Please don't mention that.
No.
I did Jetstar. I think we've got to get some sponsorship for the footballers show from those guys after what they've done here today. We managed to make it.
The main thing, Harry, you have made it.
We made it. That's right.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. All right. Exactly. So, to a very special day for basically celebrating the 47 years of the first Phillips League. As I said, I'm wearing the shirt today, guys. It's an absolute amazing shirt. They're on sale. I think they're all gone by now. I think they're all gone. So the thing about this is, guys, please get out there. If you're around Sydney Olympic, the area here at Cogra, come and check out the game. It's a massive cause to get this club back in the second division. As you saw the legends before, Mickey Cross and of course Gary. What big names they were in the Phillips League, guys. So this is the thing about this. So we're basically promoting the game today, and that's what's going now. We're looking at about 2,000 people, Carlos.
It is a beautiful afternoon. I think the kickoff might be delayed by half an hour because it's quite oppressive. But I'm looking out from this press box onto the grandstand, and obviously where the grandstand is where the shade is.
Yes.
And I'll say it's about 2,000 people have made the journey across to Cogra.
It's amazing.
Which shows that if you put on a great game of football and you promote it at the grassroots, and you connect with the people and the supporters, they will come.
Exactly. And the only way now is that the second division comes in, of course, in March, and that's only a few months' time, Carlos. Second division launches in March. I hope to be there as well in Sydney. Hopefully you might want to be there too, the big launch. Football Australia. We want to get involved with the second division. Of course, we're going to call it NSL2, second division, until we find out what name it is. And I'll tell you, the two boys before us, they came here talking about why not call it NSL? Why not call it back to the old days where it was popular, the communities were all there. We're going to get our communities back. As you can see, what the community has brought here today with Greek dancing and partying and everything with Greek food, all that sort of stuff. That's happening today, guys. We don't see this anywhere in the A-League either, Carlos.
Well, the difference between the A-League is that the A-League clubs were born out of a new structure. They don't have the history like Olympic has. 70 years Olympic this year.
Yes.
Sydney, Croatia, another 50, 60 years. So the old clubs, the migrant founded, they have the history. Now the challenge for the clubs in the new second division is to reconnect with the third and fourth generation of Greek Australia, and also to embrace the wider community. To support Sydney Olympic needs to become the go-to destination to watch football, not just because you are of Greek heritage. That's the challenge for all the clubs, to embrace everyone.
Well, as you saw the two boys that were here earlier, one was an English background, one was a Australian background, so we are talking here a very Australian club. They are Australian clubs, whether you like it or not. They are Australian clubs, born in Australia, and a lot of people play for those clubs who weren't even, we're not talking here about a Greek background. You don't have to be in a Greek background to play in any club, anywhere in the world.
No, but the challenge moving forward is that the original pioneers, there may be a few left over, if any.
Yes.
We're now into the third and fourth generation, that football might be a distant memory, and there's so many things to follow.
Yes.
Instead of football.
Exactly, and watching the ground, how picturesque is this ground here? We can't turn the camera around, but next time we come to Sydney and we do something during the second division, we want to be involved at the second division and do some interviewing and stuff, and show the ground with better cameras. But I think that looks absolutely amazing out there. If you could see this, guys.
Well, you can see the airport, you can see Port Botany, the planes taking off.
Yes.
And what's good about this ground, it is iconic, it is a true rectangular ground. And then even in the warmer days, after 5 o'clock, you get the breeze from Botany Bay. Belmore Sports Ground, as much as I love Belmore Sports Ground, I think is showing his age. It's aging. It needs a fair bit of money to be spent on, to be proud of. Gogra is underutilised, this ground, and this ground needs to have a team to call it home.
And is it it's a stadium. It's a boutique stadium. It's not like it's like some of the stadiums in Melbourne where they don't have seating at all. There's grounds where there's no seating, but here you have these rectangular stadiums that are rugby league stadiums that are useful to our game, of course.
And St George Rugby League or St George Illawarra might play at most 4 games during the season, and when they do play, this place could pack up to 25,000 people, including and people love coming to sit on the hill. I was at Leichhardt Oval last night. The families love to bring the picnic rug and sit on the hill while the kids roll around with cardboard boxes.
And this is absolutely, was it told 20,000 here? Is it 20,000 or 15? No less.
I think 22 pushing it, but I think because of council and authority put a cap at 15,000 people, this place rocks.
And basically being in the second division, we just hope that what happened in 1977 happens next year in of course in saying it's going to go ahead in April. The launch is in March this year. Guys, follow us on Football S. Tell your friends to follow the show, and we're going to time before the launch and talk to other clubs. Of course, I'll be getting out to some of the clubs in Melbourne. South Melbourne are here today. We're seeing them here. One more team in Melbourne coming in, one more team in Adelaide, and one team in Brisbane. And Carlos,
thank you for having me.
And guys, enjoy the show. Football S. We are the people. We are the passion, as I say it. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
football as production on location at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, Sydney, Saturday, 13th January 2024. Produced and directed by Harry Sindai for Football as copyright 2024.